Hey, how's it going, everyone? Today we are going to talk about the latest ban wave that's been going around. And what's surprisingly about this is that players have been accidentally banned. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, well, that's not possible. Like, you have to obviously do something to get banned. And in this case, that may not be the scenario. I'm going to show you proof about that here in just 1 second. Because right here in this Reddit post, it says new ban wave question mark. This user then continues on with posts are popping up in the official D4 forums that people starting to be banned for trading. And that's just the way he worded, by the way. I know it sounded weird when I said it, but that's just the way, it was written. The interesting thing about this is when you hear ban wave, you automatically assume, okay, someone that duped some gold did it, or possibly someone traded someone for some sort of currency, or obviously exploited the game in some sort of way. This is actually not the case for most people out here. If we take a look right here, there's a Reddit post that says, quote, apparently Blizzard does falsely ban players. Then you can see this first image right here, and if we take a look at it, it says, we've closed this account for use of unauthorized cheat programs. These programs provide character benefits not normally achievable in the game and detract from the integrity of Diablo 4 game environment. Well, so far it's not looking too good, right? This player then decided that, hey, I'm going to fight this. I'm not going to let it go because I obviously have not exploited the game in some sort of manner. And so he tried to see what was going on. He received a message from a bot that says, quote, following a review of your case, we can confirm that the evidence presented was correct and that the subsequent action taken was appropriate. Our decision in this matter stands and will not be overturned. Okay, it still looks pretty bad. It looks like this guy is obviously a cheater. Now, let's continue on towards this next image here. If you take a look at the very top here, it says a game master resolved your ticket and left the following response. I'm a technical specialist. This action was reviewed and upheld already. We found no signs of compromise and double checked the actions was performed correctly, which I have done again for you. For actions of this nature, we do not provide more details than what is already disclosed in this email and sent to the registered email address. Alrighty, so yeah, it appears that they have made a mistake. This guy is not a cheater or a glitcher or exploiting the game in some sort of way. This is because in the next email you can see it says, greetings, we recently closed a Diablo 4 game account on this Battle.net account as part of our ongoing effort to combat exploitation and abusive behavior. After an additional review of the evidence, we determined the closure was an error. We're reopening this account for play and hope you will accept our sincere apologies for the mistake. Wow. It's quite amazing that they would accidentally ban a bunch of players, and this is not just the first scenario. There's probably someone out there that's still banned for no reason, and they have no way of actually resolving it, or maybe they haven't even given it a chance to fight it like this player did. So with that being said, if you're one of the players out here that you feel like you've been accidentally banned, then I would highly suggest you head over towards Blizzard's site and dispute the ban and, give yourself at least a fighting chance. I will say if you are going to be fighting back at this and you try to, dispute it, you might receive an error like this guy did at 52 on. If you do, by any means, then try to use maybe your mobile phone or possibly do what a fella suggested in this form here, and that was to use the Diablo 3 instead, so this way you can actually report it. So besides the whole accidental bans going on, there is some more backlash that Blizzard is facing, because if you're one of the fellas out here that have actually purchased the collector edition, you might be satisfied with it until you opened up the book to figure out that there might have been a misprint. So with this post, it says Diablo 4 Collector Edition Art Book Misprint Replacement. So after weeks of waiting for a supposed art book replacement tracking info, they sent me an email today stating, thank you for your support for Diablo 4 and your patience as we've looked into this issue with partially unprinted page in an art book, The Art of Diablo 4, including with the Diablo 4 limited collector's box. For fans interested in replacing the affected page, we have uploaded a digital version available here at print quality resolution. Please be sure to download the link no later than September 4th, 2023. And this fellow goes on to say, I guess they expect to print the page myself and replace it or something? Yeah, I don't know what you're supposed to do there, bud. But yeah, this stuff is crazy that they would imagine you guys figuring a way to replace their own book. I guess that's a Blizzard tactic, right? We sell you a half-baked product and you figure out what you're going to do with the rest of it. It's kind of like, we work things out in a situation. Like, they put in half the work, we put in the other half. Now, of course, I'm just playing around here. I think this is quite ridiculous that they would go this far into accidentally banning, and then they've even messed up on their collector's edition. And if you're one of the fellas out here that have spent a good amount of money, not only on the collector edition, you might have spent some money on the game itself, like buying the most expensive edition, which was, I think, was 100. So you spent 100 there, you spent 100 here, now you've spent easily $200 on a game that is currently experiencing some issues. Granted that there are some things that they are trying to fix and that will eventually come towards us in the future, yet at the same time, things like this should not happen, especially if you're a company that has a good amount of currency backing it up to produce some top quality games, and you're kind of just developing mid-material stuff. There's Path of Exile 2 that's doing some ridiculous stuff, and if you have yet to check that out, I highly recommend that you do, because man, oh man, the Druid is looking phenomenal over there, and I'm definitely willing to make the swap when 2024 comes. But for now, we're going to take a look at what Diablo 4 has in store for us in the future, which, who knows, there's supposedly supposed to be some great in-game content coming, such as 5 in-game bosses. There's also the newest season that's coming up in October, which is Season of the Blood. There's just multiple things that they're trying to add to give us that replayability, and sometimes, with certain developers, it just doesn't pan out too well. Fallout 76 would be a great example, although I would not compare it to this game, as Fallout had so many bugs. Although, on the other hand, if you want to compare it in collector's edition wise, then yeah, I would say they're both comparable there. They've both messed up quite a lot when it comes down to trying to give players a really cool collector's edition. If you guys can go back in the past, you could probably check out some of the Nuka-Cola stuff that they try to give to certain players, if you did purchase the edition. I think there was also a bag of some sort. I honestly cannot recall too well, but there's just a lot of things that they've messed up there as well, and that's just Bethesda. But still, it's the same thing when it comes down to Blizzard. If you're a company, you got to develop some really top tier games and also develop some great collector's editions without messing up something like this. Because I would be pretty PO'd if I came home and was like, well, this was what I paid for. This is not what, a top AAA game should obviously be doing, right? Well, anyways, that's my opinion on this. I hope that you guys have found it intriguing, helpful, or whatnot, because, yeah, players are accidentally being banned for no reason, and if you've received the collector's edition, there is a misprint. You can obviously download the digital version. That's pretty cool, right? Not really. But, hey, hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, leave them down at the bottom of the page, and most importantly, if you are new to the channel, feel free by subscribing, turning the notifications on, and this way you're notified every time I upload a video. And by all means, I just want to say thank you guys for supporting the channel and checking out the videos each time. The love and support means a lot, and I'll see you all in the next video.